From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Good morning, I'm Lena Pringle, filling in for Kylie Conway. This is your News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, February 21st. Today will be a cooler day. Expect a breezy afternoon. Our highs are set to only top out in the upper 40s before the warm weather and rain returns Wednesday. Wish TV is your education station. Teachers may soon be required to tell parents if a student changes their gender identity or preferred name. It's one of the changes made to a bill limiting discussions about LGBTQ topics in classrooms. The House Education Committee passed the new version of the bill on a 9-4 vote yesterday. Teachers would not be able to discuss human sexuality with kindergartners through third graders unless they are answering a student's question. That's a change from the original bill, which specifically prohibited discussing gender identity or sexual orientation. Lawmakers heard hours of passionate testimony from students and educators. One parent who is in a same-sex marriage says the term human sexuality is too vague and could be used against them. Supporters of the measure say it should be up to parents, not schools, when and how their children learn about sexuality. The bill now heads to the full House for a vote. It faces a Monday deadline to remain in consideration. Students at Michigan State University want state lawmakers to do more right now to pass new gun control laws. More than 1,000 students gathered at the state's Capitol building yesterday. This comes after a mass shooting on campus last week killed 3 students and 5 others were critically injured. Gun activist and Parkland, Florida shooter survivor was also in attendance. Senators in Michigan have introduced several new bills on gun reform. The first hearing for most of them will happen Thursday. If they're passed, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is expected to sign them into law. ITMaid is uncovering a daily danger on Indiana's railways. Indiana Homeland Security says trains are coming and going while carrying hazardous materials. Homeland Security says train companies don't have to notify the state unless the train is deemed a high-hazard flammable train. The department says about a dozen of those trains travel through Indiana every week. Steve Jones is the state fire marshal. He says the state is not always notified when and where the trains will be. Jones says his crews are still prepared in case a train derails. He suggests making a plan if you're told to evacuate. Jones says trains are still one of the safest ways to transport hazardous materials in the country. New in the war in Ukraine, President Biden is in Warsaw, Poland today. According to the White House, he will talk with allies of NATO's eastern flank to solidify Western unity. This comes as officials say Russia and Ukraine are preparing to launch spring fights. As we've reported, President Biden made a surprise visit to Kyiv yesterday. During this visit, Biden and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky talked about Ukraine's needs. President Biden pledged $500 million in weapons and other military support for the country. This Friday marks 1 year since Russia invaded Ukraine. A powerful aftershock is adding new misery in Turkey and Syria, killing at least 8 more people, with more than twice that many critically injured. The epicenter is in a Turkish town just off the Mediterranean Sea. The 6.4 magnitude quake hit the region, devastated by a 7.8 magnitude quake and its many aftershocks 2 weeks ago, killing more than 45,000 people. People felt the new quake as far as Egypt. Dozens of aftershocks have followed. Hundreds of rescuers are now working to reach survivors. New on Daybreak, Jimmy Carter's family is offering some specifics about what are likely the final days for the former president and the legacy he will leave. As we've reported, Carter is now under hospice care. Carter's niece, Leanne Smith, says he's surrounded by his family. Smith says she'll remember the good times they spent with him, like Christmas. And regarding his legacy, she says it will take the entire family to continue it. He's done quite a bit of things for his hometown of Plains, Georgia, and she adds that his presence will be missed. Now to business headlines. Realtor.com says Indianapolis is the 7th cheapest place to buy a home. It says the median list price of a home locally is $300,000. The median down payment is $60,000. In the past 20 years, wages have not kept pace with home prices. The median household income increased by only $6,000 between 2001 and 2021. And median home sale prices increased by more than $250,000 in that same time frame, according to the Federal Reserve. United says it will make it easier for families to book seats with their children for free. United will show parents or other adult travelers accompanying a child younger than 12 to access preferred seats as well as regular economy seats if needed at the time of booking so they can all sit together. The change will happen in early March. And Fortune reports Kroger workers who quit are getting texts and emails from the company asking them to come back. The Wall Street Journal reports the company has tried hard since the pandemic ended to stay in touch with ex-employees and has seen a significant number of them return, especially with unemployment at a 50-year low. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Lena Pringle, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.